This is Channel 253.
On this episode of the Grit and Grain Podcast.
Delicious West Coast IPA coming out, and they're canning it tomorrow. We'll be there for that, and we brewed it a couple weeks ago. Amber brewed it. We were just in her way the whole time, drinking beer, and
eating donuts,
an brewer.
She let you guys take pictures of putting the hops in.
Yeah, and she's like, "Here's some pizza, you drunk people."
E9 really knows how to collab.
They do. They're the best. They're such a good host.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you.
Welcome to the Grit and Grain Podcast, where we explore and celebrate the craft beer industry, community, and history in Tacoma, Washington, and surrounding Pacific Northwest areas. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grit and Grain Podcast, coming to you guys from Peaks and Pints in Tacoma, Washington.
Yes!
My name is Matt McLaren. I'm here as always with Ron Swarner.
Hello.
How's it going, Ron?
I'm ready to take winter intoxication seriously.
Perfect. Well, you've came to the right place. Bethany, how are you today?
So good.
So good.
So many good beers sitting in front of us. Like, so many.
I know. Yeah. It's kind of a mess, but I'm so excited to clean it up.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Phaedra and Doug are both on mic. How are you guys today?
Good.
We are both great.
Fabulous. Great.
There are a ton of delicious beers in front of us.
Let me point out that Doug's wearing a scarf.
I am.
It is.
And a hat.
Quite lovely.
And a hat.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Yeah.
A special hat.
Wait, why is it? What's it special
I have
for?
that same one, the Great Western.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Western.
cool.
This was given to me by Phaedra
Aw.
Yeah.
because I'm bald and my house is cold because I turn off the heat and open the window, and my head needs protection at night and during the day.
And so it's
Good job, Phaedra.
sleepy. Anything.
She saved you from pneumonia.
Phaedra dialed me in.
Well, yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out, tuning in. We're sans guests today because we're talking about all kinds of random beer stuff amongst ourselves. Before we get into it, please do make sure you guys like and subscribe and tell your friends and family. And if you haven't done so yet, please go over to YouTube and subscribe to Grit and Grain Podcast on YouTube. We're pumped to have videos up, and you can hang out and pretend you're getting trash right along with us. For this one, hopefully you guys have a winter beer on hand that you can crack, because that's what we're talking about today, is this year's winter beers. Ron did a flight today that was all winter beer. I have some of my own breweries, fantastic winter beers. We have a couple of very classic examples of winter beers. So we're going to talk about those, plus some of our favorites, plus some other stuff, and hopefully the stuff that you guys should be looking for when you're out checking out winter beers. But we actually have some non-winter beer stuff to start with. I would say damn near the opposite.
Just kidding.
Who makes this? This is really something good.
So this is the original Stone and Wood Pacific Ale. And so Kylie Palmer, who you guys might remember from an episode a while back before we did Tacoma Beer Week, they were like early episode. Brought some goodies back from Australia. Well, I had them smuggle in from Australia. And so the original Stone and Wood Pacific Ale is, as far as I understand, very widely credited with being the beer that kind of made Galaxy a big deal. So if you're not familiar, Galaxy is like one of the most universally well-loved hops. It's fantastic. If there's, you could probably,
Does
really?
it still, even this one? So I know this about Ron. Every time we have a Galaxy beer, he says it tastes like peanut butter. And
Really?
I love peanut butter.
It's very buttery. I get it.
Uh-oh.
I don't get butter. No, like peanuts.
Peanut
Like you get
butter.
like a nutty thing.
I do. Galaxy.
And this one too, even.
Not so much. That was more
yeah.
just a joke. But
I'm a
Bethany's like, no.
right.
We're
Like,
getting to the bottom of this.
We're gonna talk
We're getting to
about
the bottom of
I
this.
Legit.
love peanut butter. I eat it probably every day, multiple times a day, and I don't get that in the Galaxy thing, but it's so interesting to me that like you do, and yeah. So sometimes I do.
That was
I get
supposed to be peanut buttery?
no.
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 It's not. That's the point.
Just, okay, back to the beer. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's Galaxy, and it's wheat. There's a bunch of wheat in it, right?
I think so. Yes.
It's like a wheat
It
ale.
tastes like it's wheat.
It's enough bringing thing.
It's so nice.
It's really nice, yeah.
So this was what made Galaxy
Yes.
popular.
Yeah. According to
This
Kylie
brewery,
and
this-
to the internet.
I can see.
Good enough for me.
I can see why. It's very
And
good.
it's great. It's like, yeah, this is delicious. And,
really good.
you know, it's probably not, I can't imagine it's the freshest example if it's made it all the way from Australia, but it still drinks. I mean, this is delicious.
Yeah.
So you could ask a
like
lot
it
of
a lot.
brewers if there's only one hop you could use forever. You'd probably get Galaxy more often than a lot of other hops. It's super universal, crazy dank, has a ton of citrus. It's really complex, so it expresses a lot of flavors really cleanly, but also has like plenty of kind of bittering capacity. It could be the only hop you use, and you could make fantastic beer constantly with it. Oh man, This
I'm
is
out.
awesome.
What's next?
I love it.
Doug says, move it along.
Hey Bethany, what's next?
Tooey's.
6 things here.
We
you
got
know.
a Tooey's extra dry. Who's got the bottle opener? Here we go.
Okay, so I
ice.
think this came up on Lawnmower Beer episode. Is that right?
Yeah, or like your first.
Oh,
love,
yeah, that's
like
right.
Your first love.
Gateway beer.
It's the
Gateway
right
beers.
color.
Yeah, because I spent some time in Australia and we only drank Tooey's new and Tooey's old. This is Tooey's extra dry, which I'm not sure I have had. Are we all done? Ready? Here.
Yeah.
You start.
Tooey's in a
Need to
clear
finish
bottle.
my-
I have not seen a ton of beer in clear bottles outside of Corona, so this is
Right.
already interesting to me.
It is. Yeah, that's true.
To each their own.
Clearly
Keep
a double header
Keep 'em
today.
coming. Keep 'em coming.
No, that's just Ron.
Not judge our country based on this beer.
Oh, sorry, Doug. I'm
Hey.
sorry, baby. I'm so sorry.
Now that smells like peanut
There you
butter.
go. My bad.
It doesn't. I mean, very distinct, like clear bottle skunkiness.
There it is. Something smells familiar.
Boy, that's like. Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding? Take a sip.
What is that? Light struck.
That's for sure light
It's a
struck.
clear bottle. It's a clear bottle. Just it's
I think-
not no one's fault.
I think the
No.
flavor,
Totally.
the flavor is transparent as well.
It's designed not to taste it much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so I've done, I don't know how many Araxa flavor kits. And I mean, this is the light struck dust, man. This is like, this is a good mix on the light struck off flavor.
Oh, man.
Honestly, though, it's pretty fucking good.
I mean-
I would like,
Yeah.
I would
dump
crush,
it out.
I would crush bottles of
I
this.
was gonna say it's crushable, as they say.
Wax, too.
Doug says what's next?
What's next?
Light struck, yeah.
Well, hey, how was everyone's Thanksgiving?
That's a great question.
Lovely.
It was,
Mine was great.
mine was also great.
Everyone said like low key. Everyone's had a low key Thanksgiving.
Low-key.
Hopefully,
I did.
that's a good thing.
Wait, why wasn't yours low key?
My brother's wife's brother got married the day before
Right.
Thanksgiving, and the bride's family was in town. So our Thanksgiving was 60 people and 5 tables.
Holy
jeez.
shit.
Yeah.
That's
You were
Stressful.
serving 12 tops, Ron? Holy
And there
crap,
were
dude.
games and all that.
At your house?
it could be super
My brother's
fun.
house in DuPont.
It could be super
Oh.
fun, or it could be just a total
It was fun.
disaster.
It was
Good.
fun.
It's nice that you didn't have to host it.
That's the key.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
2 days a year I don't work. And
60 people, though, that's a
Thanksgiving.
lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeez.
right.
Thanksgiving and
Christmas.
Christmas, sure.
And Matt, you guys made some delicious food.
We did.
Yeah, I saw it on
All
the
kinds of
internet.
pictures.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
posted, I think, most of the pictures. Arena and I both love to cook, and so, that's part of the fun is just, like, listening to music all day and running back and forth across the kitchen and making, like, good food. And I had never smoked a turkey before. I did that for the first time. So we did, like, all
It's
Southern
the
food.
best. Oh, yeah.
So it was like like Cajun smoked turkey and cornbread stuffing and collard greens, and she cooks great Southern food. And
My invitation got lost in the mail.
yes, it did. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yes, it did.
Any leftovers of that cornbread stuff?
No, we crushed everything.
Yeah,
we do we cook. We actually don't have a ton of people over for Thanksgiving. We have like some of her family over, and then like my sister will come down, but it's like less than 10 people every year. But we cook a shitload of food because we just eat all the leftovers all weekend, and it's lovely. So we made like a big turkey pot pie, and then I used like all the smoked turkey broth to make ramen on the Sunday afterwards. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, we made tacos, and
I know, you
not
said that.
turkey
That's
tacos.
awesome.
We had a taco bar, and we thought we would just do something completely different, and it was really fun.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
And none of us were in the kitchen, which I think was good. None of us really love cooking or baking, so yeah, it was a nice little change of pace. We
That's
all
awesome.
Ate spicy tacos.
Anybody
Nice.
crack any beers for Thanksgiving?
I did. I cracked a Russian River, one of the Asians, but I can't remember.
One of the Asians.
Consecration. I think we decided the cherry one. Was it consecration?
One of the Asians.
I can't take credit for that. That's what Sean Jackson, he would always.
Oh, he calls them
He
the
calls them the
Asians.
Asians. And so anyway, I cracked one of those. It's the one with the cherries. He said
I think it's
consecration.
but
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was
someone's gonna-
delicious. That's all that matters.
Perfect.
I always crack Bourbon County the day before, but this year it didn't matter because they said just open it whenever.
Oh,
But I still saved it for Black Friday. But
that's nice.
crazy, no K's came into the state.
Okay, I was curious. I know you heard that and you mentioned that to me, and I had a few people were like posting up asking where kegs were, and I was like, I am pretty sure there's no kegs.
There isn't.
Yeah.
I saved one from last
Do
year.
we know why? Or was there?
I have no idea. And we only got 2 variants too.
Dang.
There's a-
Oh, I thought, because I saw the 2 on the counter, but I figured we sold through everything else, so no, that was it.
Yeah.
Dang.
But the cask went fast. Cask version.
Oh, really?
Cast finish.
Cast strength, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I mean, normally there's like 5 or 6
Yeah,
variants
exactly.
that come in,
Yeah,
and
it was
like,
just a weird year.
yeah, I wonder what that was.
Did they make other variants? I haven't even been paying attention.
Yes, they did.
They did.
They're
Okay, we just didn't
all
get
over the
them.
internet.
Okay, yeah, I haven't.
That's so weak. We're all
haven't
just
been-
everybody in Washington is like, hey, where the fuck can I get these?
Yeah, and we can't.
Yeah. Rude.
Very.
Yeah.
What's next?
They're still mad at
We
Doug
cracked
does not give a shit
we
about
cracked a
anything
lot
but
of
the beer.
Lush, Crikey, and Lucille.
Nice.
Nice.
We had a lot of those.
Wow, flagships.
Yeah.
I cracked one of my floodlands. Cracked a floodland, and then I spent the rest of the weekend drinking that Brazilian limeade. I took a whole case.
The milky one?
Yeah, dude. Fucking 270 calories a can.
Did you put ice in it?
Yeah.
I think my daughter drank that actually. She had
Dude,
some.
I
She
drank
had
them
that.
all
Yeah.
No, it's good.
weekend.
It's good
Pedro, the
stuff.
whole world is drinking.
Well, I know that. We're selling it. It's nuts. People
Yeah.
are, but yeah, she had some and
Awesome.
she brought a can over and that's what she drank. So she had some too. We were in good company. So there you go.
Yeah. I always go like non-beer when I'm off the clock. It's like cocktails or like cider. Oh, Union Hill just released their version of like their sparkly shimmery cider, and it's absolutely fucking delicious. So I had
sounds
that
good.
as well. But speaking of cracking beers, let's crack beers.
Yeah.
Thank
Doug
you.
says what's next.
Warmers.
Doug says now. Do it now.
Doug, you ready for it?
Well, I don't have any backup from the bar. I'm just waiting on these.
Sour
He's
winter
just
warmer.
like, yeah.
I know.
Absolutely.
hang on.
I'm
It's a sour.
completely here for that.
Here's the first winter warmer.
It's like it's gonna
it.
clog my lines.
It's gonna clog your lines.
Your personal line.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Watercolors.
Watercolors.
Wobbly
Yeah,
lines.
this beer
Christmas
sells well
creamy.
every year.
Yeah,
This is super popular beer.
So this
gonna
name
come
gets
out of
made fun of a
California.
lot. So this is Skygazer, which is an East Coast brewery, and their
Gingerbread
their
marshmallow.
ice cream fucking smoothie sour that they
I don't know
released
how
for
I
Christmas.
feel about this.
But it's called Christmas Creamy. Everybody makes fun of it because if you're not from the East Coast, you don't know what the fuck a creamy is. But it's just soft serve. Yeah.
It's
a-
creamsicle-y.
Is it?
All right, it says
All right.
cherry. Listen to this: cherry, pear, plum, tangerine, gingerbread, marshmallow.
Yeah.
Yep.
That-
You can totally
that's
taste
about
all of
right.
those.
Yeah,
Got
yeah, yeah.
all that.
All of that
All of
clear and expressive.
Is it one of those that probably like you could imagine a shot of rum or tequila in it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Creamsicle.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
it's actually not that sweet.
Not really.
It's not sour.
It's sour.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's not very. It looks thick, but it's not that sweet.
So thick.
Like at the mall.
There's a lot of marshmallow.
Orange Julius. Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That
So
is an
100%
adult Orange Julius.
Locker next.
I'm going. Yeah. I was,
I'm going to go to the
Why does
record
this store smell like a Tooheys? Sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm going to Auntie Anne's after Orange Julius.
I was gonna go to the Brass Plum, find some San Francisco
The BP.
riding gear.
How about the Bon Marché?
Well, there you go. That too. Yeah.
The Tinder box.
Jesus.
Right.
Mr.
The Robin Hood
Square.
Pub. Long gone.
I got asked today if I spent any time
Farrell's.
at the mall, and I was like, I don't think
Farrell's, right? Farrell's.
I don't know
Best.
Farrell's.
Fabulous fun.
Oh,
No, you
Farrell's. Oh, we're old enough to remember Farrell's.
Yeah,
Farrell's was
we're
dope.
really old.
It was dope.
Not
I
wrong.
remember Lamont's. You guys remember Lamont's?
Fabulous fun.
Farrell's was awesome.
All right.
Was
Well,
Lamont's
I'm going to
a
take
thing?
another pour of
Lamont's
this.
was a thing too. Yeah.
Lamont's? I remember Lamont's.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Hot
You
topic.
guys were all reminiscing about the fucking mall.
Double
Orange
episode. This is what happened.
I know. I refilled my Christmas cream.
What is a winter warmer?
Oh yeah.
Honestly, it's a good question because
Yeah,
it's
'cause
not
it's
really a
not-
style, but you'll
Yeah.
find a million of them.
Like you can't enter it
BJCP.
into a,
That there's not a category or a whatever.
Not really. No.
They have
They have
spice.
fruit and spice ale, fruit and spice beer.
And they have holiday ale, right?
No.
Oh, doesn't sound familiar.
They have fruit and spice ale, and then they have, like, honestly, the closest might be like American brown ale. Like, that's mostly,
spices.
yeah, American brown ale with spices is what you might find with a typical winter warmer. But you have all these fantastic winter spices in these winter warmers. I have multiple
Well-
here, and then Ron's got a couple here as well.
So would you have to enter if you wanted to enter it in a competition? Would you just not because there isn't a category for it, or how would
You'd put it in like a
So you would,
spice.
like, if you did like a non-spiced winter warmer and the parameters were sort of, they fit into like the American brown or like even the porter, you could probably stretch into porter. You could call it winter warmer and then enter it under like the brown ale category.
Okay.
And you could still do just fine. If you put spices in it though, you have to enter it in fruit and spiced beer.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And then if it's really
If you put a reindeer on the label of a coffee stout, it's a winter warmer.
yeah.
Bingo. That's actually a good point.
Okay, well, we've got winter.
We're gonna talk about that in a second.
So it is is confusing. You got winter ales,
Right.
winter warmers,
Right.
and then winter IPAs, which are more. It's easier to figure out what the winter IPA is going to be.
Sure.
It says licking a Christmas tree.
But the it
That's
says
what it is.
licking a Christmas tree. So, but the winter ales and winter warmers are kind of a big, broad Wild West
Yeah,
category.
but then they have Christmas beers.
I feel like,
Also a thing.
well, winter warmer though, I feel like
It's
You're getting Christmas ales coming in or something like called Christmas ale.
It just seems like it's the label
probably.
in the name.
Yeah.
I feel like winter ale and winter warmer, the difference is adding spice, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So
at least-
winter ale is like a big strong brown.
Yeah.
And a winter warmer is gonna have the cinnamon, nutmeg,
All
stuff.
spice,
Yeah.
yeah.
At least like
is that
that's,
true though?
I don't know
All
if
the
it's
way
like
across the
that.
board?
There's no fucking category.
there
You know,
it is. It blends.
yeah, it's the Wild West for winter
it is?
beers. Like, no, there's no rules.
You don't
It
know what
makes
you're
too
gonna
much
get.
sense.
You might get a winter IPA with cinnamon and nutmeg in it.
Really? Stop.
Stop.
Stop
Let
it.
Since we're talking about them, let me wash out the Christmas creamy.
Hey, it's really there's a lot of schmutz in the glass. From
Of
that.
course, dude. The first
This is the dumping.
So Arena went to school in Vermont, and we visit Vermont pretty often, which is fantastic because there's great breweries there, and I love getting a chance to go visit. But the first time I saw a place that was like, we serve creamy, I was like, what the fuck is a creamy? And she was like, oh yeah, you've never seen that before. That's just soft serve. And then like down the road, there was a sign that was like, we serve creamies and jimmies. And I was like, what the fuck is a jimmy? And she's like, those are sprinkles. And I was like, so you go into a fucking, I don't know, Vermont Baskin Robbins, you're like, let me get a creamy with jimmies. And she's like, yeah, that's how you order an ice cream with sprinkles. And I was like, that is awful. It seems I don't want to say any of those fucking words.
Why can't they use the word
They obviously weren't
sprinkles?
in a kindergarten class.
Dude,
Put down your mat and have a nap.
Yeah, it sounds,
I hate
it
it.
sounds like my toddler trying to
Yeah.
talk about what he's eating. A creamy and a Jimmy.
Yeah.
What?
No, that's ice cream. Just say it.
That's something you do in your pants.
Yeah. And now it's the grit and grade.
Yeah, fucking two-parter. I know, Ginny was waiting for that. She's like, no, we have those. It's just a different thing.
Did you get some already?
No, I didn't. I just used it to rinse out.
Did you got some?
My
Right?
Yeah, I got some.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got some.
Okay, so this
Okay,
is Machine House's winter warmer.
I'm so excited to try this one. Ooh,
So you
smells
say warmer, but I'm not
so
getting any
good.
spice.
I know. See, I don't think there's any spice in it. I told you it's the Wild West.
I like your definition, though, Bethany. That's how it should be. It should be like that.
Yeah, there's no cinnamon, nutmeg stuff in this. It's like a strong
Malty.
old ale, brown ale,
Go well with the figgy pudding.
strong ale.
So it's 7%, which is actually probably one of the highest ABV beers that Machine House makes. It's like in the top
like
three.
it. Delicious.
But yeah, you get like the bready English malt on it, which is really cool. And then you do get like caramely, like toffee. That's all there. But yeah, unless there's any.
If this was paired with a fruitcake, you'd throw the fruitcake away.
That's 100% correct.
This is all I need.
Yeah, just drink that.
I feel like that's just the fruitcake pairing rule anyway. Oh man,
It's good.
although I am
So
curious
cozy.
now, I'm like sitting here thinking like, what would I pair a winter ale with? Like what holiday food? Honestly, winter ales are very like Thanksgiving food friendly,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
honestly, like all those roasty roasty turkey flavors and like caramelized like bread stuffing, like all that stuff are flavors that exist in a winter warmer, especially like a kind of a classic English inspired one like this. This would probably be bomb with some Thanksgiving food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Good combos.
And actually, it's the first time Machine House has done this beer before, but they've never done it in cans, and we're getting cans of it. So if you want some, Ron, just let me know.
Okay.
Have they been
would like
canning
some.
other stuff? They're canning.
They're canning a lot.
Little side
they're
deal.
doing
I was
a
just
lot
going
more
to ask.
cans. Yeah,
So,
Do they get their own line?
Are they new to canning?
not super new, but they're starting to do it more and more. You guys might remember when Bill was on a while back. Machine House kind of like almost infamously has been doing bottles for the longest time, but it also kind of makes sense because they're like this classic sort of traditional English ale brewery, and so them not doing cans is almost on brand. But they started doing them, and like I mean, people are going crazy for it, which is cool. It's like nice to see folks grabbing cans of like a classic like special bitter or something. Versus, they're like throwing in their mixed IPA 4-pack and they're grabbing this like cool Machine House can. But it is funny, and they're doing a ton of it. They're at their new location now, so they have like more capacity to do that, which is awesome.
Where's that?
It's right off of Rainier. I wish I could remember the name of the Ethiopian restaurant next to it, but it's
In Rainier?
Yeah, it's on Rainier.
Nice. And they're still doing bottles. Too.
Yeah, they're still doing bottles, but they do a lot of cans of their
Yes,
stuff.
they're like, okay, I guess
I know,
we'll put our
yeah.
stuff in
I guess we'll
cans.
acquiesce to
Yeah.
market
I mean,
demands.
Yeah,
And then
it is.
Did you do that on purpose?
Nope, that fell out of my car.
It's today's fuck up story.
Yeah, this is. I did not do this on purpose. I went and got an oil change today, and then I went to like take all of my samples and my delivery that I had to bring for Ron out of Arena's car and put them in my car, and then I dropped this can on the ground.
It's just so funny because we had words about this last time we talked.
Yes, we did. So, winter warmer number 2 from Wander.
Wander.
Yeah.
Yay!
But this is apparently American. Although I do think they call theirs an American strong ale, which is probably another good overlapping style to mention if you're talking about winter warmer. So like brown ale, you can kind of put porters in there. Like Ron said, if you put a reindeer in a coffee porter, you can call it a winter warmer. Yeah. But American strong ale is another good one. Despite like the hop character, like a lot of the other parameters do actually fit. So winter warmers do kind of match like an American strong ale. So you might also enter it under that category.
So the difference between the American strong ale and the brown that you were saying earlier is
So ABV are a little bit different. American strong ale would be a little bit higher.
you have a darker SRM range, so a darker color range on an American Strong Ale, and then the hop characteristics, like your IBU would be way higher usually, or your IBU range would be way higher on an American Strong Ale. It's like
Sounds right.
Arrogant Bastard is like the very common like American Strong Ale example, and this honestly, like you kind of get hints of that.
Isn't Dead Guy a strong ale, technically?
It's a Maibach.
Oh.
I put the Delirium Noel Belgian Strong Ale on this flight too.
Oh, did you?
That's what I have.
Yeah, number 5.
Yeah.
Belgian Strong Ale is like one of my favorite, like for winter style beers, like just perfect. Honestly, if you want to talk about like fruitcake pairing, if you were into fruitcake and you actually wanted to pair it with a beer, a Belgian Strong Ale is probably the beer.
If you're into fruitcake.
Yeah.
And you want to pair it.
If that's your thing.
If you like this brick of pastry and dried fruit,
This is
Well, it's so different. than
fucking
our last
excellent.
yeah. I mean, this is dangerous. What's the ABV on this guy?
7.5.
Right on line.
So if you guys don't, if you don't keep up on your fucking Forbes, Wander, just, I know, right? I said that with such disdain.
You did.
I don't know why I did that.
Fucking Forbes.
That was a dig at Forbes, not pores who don't read it. But Forbes just named Wander Correspondent specifically the best stout brewed in America, right after their GABF gold medal run. But we talked about it when I was down for North Bay Beer Week. We talked, we had some, and it was cool to try it, kind of like fresh off of that accolade, plus like its 4th GABF win. And it really is one of those perfect fucking beers. Honestly, if I was going to drink a winter beer from Wander, it might just be their correspondent.
I'm going to throw a curve at you, Matt.
Okay.
Tell me about the Wander Feather.
Fuck. I couldn't do that if you put a gun to my head.
Yeah. It's a burial collab, right?
It is a burial collab.
Yeah, that's all I know.
I'm kidding.
It came in today and I haven't had it.
I know. I should have had you pull one. So it is a burial collab. And actually, Burial's done a bunch of really cool collabs with Northwest breweries. I don't know. Maybe we can go pull one on the break.
Yeah,
or
I was gonna
something.
say, I feel like he can
with Citra and Columbus
He can
and
pull it.
Centennial.
It is. Yeah. It's very much like a classic like burial. I was joking when I told you I couldn't. Are we pulling one on the break?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So yeah.
Oh, you're breaking things.
Feather to Ashes is Wander and Burial, and Burial's been doing cool collabs, but it's like a very classic, like it's very pale, so it's not a ton of like caramely malt balance, but like really aromatic, very expressive of the few hops that they use in it. And now that I'm talking about it, we should probably just pull.
We need to have it.
Yeah.
I know. Well, yeah.
After the break.
I know. Why don't we do that real quick? We're going to take a quick break, crack an extra beer from Wander, and
I know.
I know.
The hell, Santa.
And then
Taking that.
we'll talk about Ron's beer when we get back from the break.
Ho, ho, ho.
So yeah, stick around. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Channel 253 sound producer Doug Mackey, and I want to thank our sponsor for this episode, the Indigenous Voices podcast from Fort Nisqually Living History Museum, located in Point Defiance Park. Now, if you haven't heard it yet, the podcast brings forward Native voices to tell Puget Sound history. The starting point is the Puget Sound Treaty War, an armed conflict between U.S. military, local militias, and the tribes involved in the Medicine Creek Treaty. The podcast features new dialogue between the different communities impacted by the Puget Sound Treaty War and its aftermath, which is still being felt today. The work for this podcast began 3 years ago, when Fort Nisqually brought together a panel of historians to discuss the legacy of the Puget Sound Treaty War with representatives from the Muckleshoot, Nisqually, Puyallup, Steilacoom, and Squaxin Island tribes. The Indigenous Voices podcast grew out of that award-winning program and has expanded to include discussions around the evolution of Native affairs throughout U.S. history, including topics such as school boards, tribal sovereignty, and land allotments. For many listeners, me included, the podcast has been a whole new angle on one of the most important events in state history. By centering tribal voices in the telling of Puget Sound history, the tribal knowledge and expertise really comes out. The Indigenous Voices podcast is available at fortnisqually.org and wherever you get your podcasts. My thanks again to Fort Nisqually Living History Museum for sponsoring this episode.
Thank you for hanging out during the break,
We're
guys. We do all have a new beer in front of us. We're still talking about winter beers.
One of my favorites.
So good.
I know, and we do have fresh barley wine in front of us.
Oh my!
Phaedra, what'd you pull off
The Lumberbeard 4th anniversary barley wine.
I think it's our 4th keg.
We've had it a few times, and I'm not sad about it
So
ever.
good. It's one of my favorite of the years, along with Double Mountain's Grumplestein.
Oh,
I think
sure.
those two are my favorites.
Yeah. Boy,
Grumpelstiltskin?
That's it.
That's it.
Grumpelstein.
Yeah. Hashtag double.
Fact check Phaedra.
Hashtag double episode.
job.
Hey, every once in a while it comes to me, but then
It didn't sound
then
right
it's gone.
to me, but I was like, I don't let that one go.
We did. So Ron actually pulled a can of the Fetter from the ashes. I feel silly for joking around about not knowing anything about this beer, because I have the feeling that Chad and Casey might actually listen to this. But no,
I'd
this.
love to have Chad on.
I know. I'm going to bug him. Chad, if you're listening to this, text me, man. So this beer, actually, they've brewed this beer before, and it's back in like 3 or 4 years ago. But when Hurricane Helene hit, they kind of re-upped it, and so proceeds from this beer actually go to relief efforts from Helene. But yeah, it's a burial collab, and like we were talking about before the break, like, you know, super expressive, sea hops, very dry, classic, like a West Coast IPA. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a Bethany beer. Yeah. Dry, super hoppy, super good. Very much like a burial beer, but Wander also has some very distinctive, especially like kind of yeasty qualities to their IPAs, which are usually really well balanced, and they totally come through. Very much a beer from both of these guys. But yeah, if you guys see this beer out there, it's it's beer for a good cause, and buy it, and a lot of the proceeds will go towards Helene recovery efforts.
Really good.
Yeah, I feel like we're gushing about Wander a lot, but they make fucking great beer.
They do.
We've had 2 of them now in front of us. The winter. So we've had 2 winter warmers so far. We're drinking fucking Lumberbeard's anniversary barley wine, which we gussed about plenty when Brett was actually on the podcast a few months ago. Truly one of the best barrel aged barley wines I think released this year.
So delicious. Right?
Please don't do that, Ron. That seems impolite.
Seems.
And then Ron, actually, it's been sitting in front of the camera for a minute now. You have your flight today. What is on your flight today?
The Wet Coast Holiday Jeer, Grains of Wrath, Hail Santa, Cloudburst Distinctive Holiday Ale, which is a nod to our special ale from Anchor, Ravenous No Motion,
Okay, I have not had this
and
one
then the Delirium Noel.
Cheers. That's the beer.
Delirium
right there.
Noel is a fucking...
So good.
Yeah.
Looks like you tasted 2 out of the 5.
Yeah. Which one is the Ravenna, Ron? Can you point to it?
It's number 4. So,
This guy. Can I take a sip of this?
please.
Thank you.
All the help.
Back to the collabs scenario. The Funkbusters and E9 did a collab brew, and we're canning it tomorrow.
Oh
I
my
couldn't remember
God.
if I've talked
So
about
we
it on the
didn't talk
podcast
about it,
or not.
apparently.
I guess not.
No.
You knew about it.
I knew about it.
Phaedra was there on Brew Day.
Yes, I was. It was
And
awesome.
I've literally
Yeah.
been meaning to talk about it for the last 5 episodes. So
Here we are.
Is it funky?
it's no.
Oh, no.
There's no funk.
it's
That's
a-
why they're the Funk Busters.
Delicious West Coast IPA coming out, and they're canning it tomorrow. We'll be there for that, and we brewed it a couple weeks ago. Amber brewed it. We
She's
were
the
just in
best.
her way the whole time,
Yeah,
drinking
I know.
beer,
Totally.
and
Yeah.
she's
Eating
an
donuts
amazing
and-
brewer.
She let you guys
whatever.
take pictures of putting the hops in.
Yeah, and she's like,
we
"Here's
got
some
video.
pizza, you drunk people."
E9 really knows how to
were
collab. I'll tell you.
they do. They're the best. They're such a good host.
Well, I got to
and,
rake out some grain. I mean, I did.
We
you know.
did, but they had the
I know, they had
automatic
the
ones
total
too.
thing, yeah.
So we're like
Yeah.
pretending to grain out. Yeah,
Totally
we worked
posing.
really hard. No, Amber worked really hard, and
did.
Shane and everybody. Yeah, did.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, so we got. It's going to be called
Congratulations.
every
was
2
there,
weeks.
yeah.
Oh my
'Cause you-
God,
'cause
that's
you
a
clean your lines
great
every 2 weeks,
name.
and it'll be a Funk Buster.
Are you guys kegging this beer?
Yeah, it'll be canned. The whole thing. Yeah.
I think it'd be really funny if you guys only canned it. And you're like, I'm not even risking you dirty line motherfuckers carrying my beer.
Yeah. Maybe the next one. Well, we're hoping this
we
one
don't trust
flies.
you.
I hope this one flies off the shelf so we can do another good collab with
Are
them.
you guys doing like a release thing for it? Or just kind of hitting the market and
No big plans. We've been talking up all of our accounts and working with them too on like.
That's so
It's
cool.
wild. Do you know somebody has a tap room that can maybe put something together to do a release if you want
Used
it?
to work.
Yeah.
It'll be when it peaks. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's been really fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a good time.
I know. That's so exciting. Yeah, shoot. It's a good season for collabs. We went through Ron's flight today. All crazy winter beers. That Ravenna is fucking insane, by the way. Kind of smoky and like.
I got smoky too.
Oh my gosh, it's smoky. Yeah.
No, this is barleywine, but I had that earlier.
Yeah, a lot of smoke.
Yeah. Like a fucking Rausch beer. Almost. Like
Delicious.
Alaskan porter, like alderwood smoke.
Again,
malt.
Wild West. Wild
Right?
West.
You just gotta say winter on it, and then it means winter.
Yeah.
But Ron actually pulled a couple of classic examples.
Yeah,
It's like jerky. It's jerky smoke.
yeah, it's like jerky.
Now I'm trying it again.
It is very smoky.
Sorry
though.
about
That's
that.
good.
But yeah.
Umami kind of.
Yeah, like the soy sort
But
of
they're not
jerky.
calling it. It's not a Rausch beer. It's not
Yeah, what do they just have winter ale as the
It's
style, Ron?
smoke. It's meaty.
Which one?
the
Ravenna.
Are they calling it a Rausch?
They're calling it a winter warmer.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very smoky, but it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good idea, honestly.
Yeah, they make such good beer.
Yeah. Ravenna is like one of the best, least talked about breweries
Yeah,
that
I
I can
would
think
say
of in
that's true.
Washington.
Just type into Google
Have you been up
Fresh
there?
Hop Awards 2024.
Really?
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Have you been up there?
To Ravenna?
Yeah.
If you guys are listening, maybe you should come on our podcast.
Yeah, they should.
Talk about your beers.
I had
Very nice.
I had like a funny.
Yeah, I went up to an off
us
flavors
know.
course up there.
This is like a funny random thing, but I was in an account doing some normal sales stuff. It was me and a couple of the other like local beer reps. I think David was in there and maybe Scott when he was still at Two Towns. But some like you know, you guys all might have had this kind of experience, but like there's times of day where it's really only regulars in the bar. You know, it's like not like a traffic time, right?
Yeah.
And so when people who are not regulars come in, it's like noticeable, right? So I was in an account. It was a time of day where it was normally only regulars. I know everybody at the bar. I'm doing like emails and stuff, and like a small group of dudes come in, and they own like a landscaping company. They were like on their lunch, and they were just checking out like a new spot, and they were like, "Actually, we have a friend that like owns a brewery," and they were like, "We don't really do like beer stuff, but like you know he does beer stuff, and it's really cool." And we're like, "Cool, man! Like, what's your friend's brewery? We might know about it." And he was like, "Oh, it's Ravenna," and we were like, fuck, man, you're being really casual about like one of the most important breweries that like he just
Like,
didn't
we
have
don't know.
he was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, our buddy like started a brewery. And yeah, it was all these guys were like, oh yeah, that's our dude. Like he, you know, and they were just like, they were very clearly not craft beer guys, but they obviously like knew the Ravenna folks. And it was just everybody sitting at the bar was like, yeah, you guys are friends with like what we consider to be one of the most sort of like prolific Washington breweries right now in Ravenna. And they just had no fucking clue like
Yeah.
what sort of pedestal we put this brewery on.
Right.
Super random.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ravenna, good job
Fun
on your
space, yeah.
on your smoky winter warm.
Yeah, no, it is very smoky.
Ron, what do you want to crack first of these classic examples here?
Probably the 1988 Deschutes.
That's the vintage.
That's the Arcana.
That's the vintage. Okay.
Whoa.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Who's got the Bethany? You may have that.
Oh, yeah.
Ron, what are we cracking here?
It's the 2024 Jubal Ale.
Jubal Ale
Yeah, from Deschutes.
First produced in.
in '88.
88 in Bend, Oregon.
So this is like OG Northwest.
Yeah. Dried fruits, subtle spice, East Kent Golding.
Yep.
I love EKGs.
All your favorites.
Tons of dark fruit, like lots of yeasty esters. Honestly, it's funny. Like we were talking about Belgian dark strongs, Belgian quads, Delirium Noel. This beer actually smells very much like the malty character you get from like strong Belgian dark beers?
Where'd the bottle go?
What's that?
I was just saying, they have a whole artist
Yes,
project.
it's a new artist, new bend artist every year.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And Norm
How would
talks
they not
about
run out?
the actual collection of the original art and everything. It's pretty cool. Every year they select an artist to do the artwork on the label.
Yeah.
Good job,
Bethany.
Bethany.
Bethany is our Vanna. We appreciate you.
So you guys Norm from Deschutes has been on a couple of times, has told the Jubal story, told the Super Jubal story. This is like truly like the OG Northwest like winter beer. I have actually not had this beer in a while now, at least a year, but maybe a little longer. I forget how fucking great it is. Honestly, this beer is like damn near perfect.
Yep, it's delicious.
Raisiny.
They also put it on nitro.
Yeah, that's probably delicious. It's super raisiny, tons of like fig and kind of those dates. Like that's what I think of when I think of like dark, like Belgian strong beer. It's not spiced like you would get from like Belgian kind of phenol yeastiness, but everything else is totally there.
If somebody were
Cherry,
saying,
toffee.
winter ale,
Yeah.
this is it. This is like
This is like what I think of.
right.
Total
Wait,
classic.
what I
But there's no additives. It's just that's the beer.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
not. We're not
It's not
adding
super
cinnamon
spice
and
heavy.
cherry.
no,
No.
no,
Yeah.
no. You
It's
don't get
yeast
hit with
character,
cinnamon
it's
or
malt
whatever.
character.
Yeah.
So that's actually like a funny distinction to draw because like you can add all kinds of wintry spices to your beer, or you can achieve those things through the phenols and the yeast that you use to ferment your beer. Which is kind of funny. Like, if you want to be an overachiever about it, you wouldn't put anything in your beer. You would just achieve winter spices with like phenolic heavy fermentation.
So let's cheers to John Harris.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, man.
He knew what he was doing.
Already drank mine.
Well, I think those spices can be they're really, really strong, right? They can really
Sometimes
just
it's
a
hard to
little
get.
can be.
a little
It's
bit
hard to
goes
get
a long
right.
way of clove
Yeah.
or what you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and they can just overwhelm and detract from what you're
Especially
trying to do.
Well, that's
Especially clove, yeah.
so like Delirium Noel has like like famously has these winter spices, but that comes
So good.
very
It's not
specifically
extra.
from like Belgian kind of phenolic yeast.
Oh, you
Yeah.
gonna drink it?
So
I just
good.
want to drink it.
Well, just drink it.
Jesus.
Hey, Matt,
I just
Matt, I have
want to
a,
cheers you.
I have a spice question.
Sure.
Are there any beers that are traditionally
Right.
or more recently experimentally or whatever done with cardamom?
I love cardamom.
That's a very
it's a good
particular
flavor.
thing.
So I couldn't tell you of any very traditional beer styles that
Okay.
include cardamom. My favorite beer to ever include cardamom is actually Holy Mountain's Turkish Coffee Barrel Aged Stout.
I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
had that. Jeannie's like,
One of
yes.
the most unfucking believable beers I think I've ever had.
I don't think
If
I've
you
ever
guys are
had
familiar with Turkish coffee, it's very heavily spiced with cardamom in a really beautiful way. And as you can imagine, those flavors translate to beer really well. But Holy Mountain, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, did a Turkish coffee variant of Midnight Still in their very famous green wax. And it was, it was a pretty transcendent like beer experience. It was so. I don't think they've done it since.
One time only.
I think it was at least the only time I've ever seen
Sounds
it. I'm sure there's still
amazing.
bottles out there.
for
But
$200.
it's I know. Yeah, exactly. For those secondary market prices.
Totally.
I mean, it was like perfectly coffee infused, no green pepper, which if you're a big coffee beer person, you might know that like after a while, green pepper really starts to permeate coffee beers because it's what happens to coffee when you oxidize it. You get a lot of green peppery flavors. They avoided all of that and had this, beautiful warming cardamom. It was like very heavy and like still balanced with the beer, but very expressive. And yeah, that's the most contemporary example I could think of like good cardamom
Sounds
usage.
Yeah,
in a
because
beer.
like the flip side of Turkish would be Norwegian. There's a lot of cardamom. There's a lot of cardamom in yeah, me too, in Norwegian baking and such.
For sure.
I wonder if
And
there's a Norwegian brewer somewhere.
I could
that's-
almost guarantee you that that's the case. There's actually a lot of Norwegian breweries experimenting with things like that. So like culinary ingredients, obviously things like Kvike yeast are very like, that's Norwegian farmhouse yeast that everybody is familiar with. But there's sort of traditions being born in those areas using things like spices that are traditionally more culinary, but now being included in the beer to translate those, translate the flavors of like, traditional beer examples into like their local consumer markets. And so cardamom is like that. There's a lot of like so Finland, Sweden, and like other Norwegian countries are doing that. There's probably great examples of cardamom infused beer, but we probably just haven't seen them yet.
Okay.
I have a spice question for you too, Matt. Who's your favorite spice girl?
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking scary spice easily. Are you kidding?
Are you kidding?
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's not even like it's scary. Everybody, it's scary, right? Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Easy.
I had a friend tell me ginger one time, and like we haven't talked since. And it's
The only one actually named after a spice, oddly enough.
That's true.
good call. Fuck, that's more valid than I thought.
Cardamom spice.
I know.
Cardamom.
Yeah, the Norwegian one.
The bass player.
Yeah. That was like the B team, like Viking Spice Girl.
Had the horns.
Yeah. If Sporty calls out sick, cardamom can.
Yeah.
They invented winter
Is it time
wonderments,
to
I
open
think.
this one? Should we?
I love that. Cardamom? I mean, that sounds like the next good,
Yeah.
the good artist name.
Yeah, the good single
like Cardi
name.
B, Cardamom.
Okay. Here's. God damn it. Okay, there
We're
is.
off on a tangent.
No, I know. So
So us.
if you guys ever are ever up in Sequim, gorgeous little town in Washington where I hope to retire someday. There's a fantastic restaurant there. There's a absolutely fantastic tap room up there called Peninsula Tap Room. But kitty corner from Peninsula Tap Room is a fantastic little coffee shop that serves a cardamom and orange latte that they affectionately refer to as a Cardi B latte.
There you go. Full circle.
Do you have room?
Just had it a couple of months ago. It was fucking lovely.
Wow.
Ron, what did we just crack here, man?
We cracked the Pelican Bad Santa CDA. And I brought it in because it's an excellent CDA.
Yeah.
But why is it Bad Santa?
Why is it a Santa beer and why is it a
Yeah.
Christmas beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this sells well. It's killer. It's great.
Yep.
But Bad Santa.
Well,
It's one of those,
Good movie.
it is a great movie.
Yeah.
So for people who may not know, a CDA is,
A Cascadian Dark Ale
which is
Or a
another
black
name for,
IPA.
or a
I
Black
was just going there
IPA.
too.
Like-
Another name for.
I say like a porter and an IPA had a baby.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, just for, I guess, small sneak peeks, the podcast is making a CDA here pretty soon.
Wait, we are? With the,
Yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah.
What?
With Logan.
Yeah. I feel like I tasted
Oh,
this.
I remember that.
What's that?
What did I taste the other day?
We haven't tasted it yet.
Okay.
Although you probably tasted a Logan CDA.
I did.
Yeah. And in my opinion, they make
Are
one
we
of the
getting
best.
Logan stuff in yet?
We are.
We are. Okay.
We did their fresh hops for sure.
There's so many beers.
Yeah.
Too many
So we're
beers.
drinking this for research right now.
And I'm old.
Yeah. Anyway, I love the CDA, and it just they call it Bad Santa. I don't know why.
Yeah.
This band is banned.
Straight from
it's
the
bad.
fucking bottle. I know.
I just said,
Just turn it up.
fuck the glass. Fuck the glass.
It's very dry.
All my
He
glasses
doesn't
are
have
full.
one. Yeah, he doesn't have a glass, all right?
Fast, so I'm just
Okay.
adapting.
Yeah,
Hashtag double episode.
Very dry.
know,
Bad
seriously.
podcaster.
Right?
it's very dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dry,
Your
very
mouth-
hoppy,
Yeah.
very roasty.
Literally,
Do
your
you
mouth
like it,
is.
Doug?
This and Seven Seas
Not
Black
my favorite.
IPA are two of my favorites.
Yeah.
My mouth
I-
is
so
almost
the-
sandpaper.
So
yeah.
they're really good. I actually
dry.
think they're. So I like those as examples of like OG kind of black IPAs.
Yeah.
So Logan, who like we've gushed about before, I think they do a really good version of like what I kind of consider like contemporary black IPAs, where they're kind of mimicking really good coffee. You know, you get bitterness, you get citrus, you get these really distinct kind of hoppy flavors that you might get out of really good coffee. This is a delicious beer, but it leans super heavy into the roast,
Yeah.
and you don't get as
That's why I
much
like it.
hop flavor. You get some citrus, but not a ton, and then it's mostly just bitterness, which is fine. You still get that from
really
coffee
bitter.
too.
I love roast.
Yeah. And I love that. But I
think it's
to
bitter
me,
and
some of
dry.
like the really expressive stuff gets lost. And when you overly, when you have a ton of roasted malt. But that doesn't mean this isn't a fucking delicious
Have some
beer.
more of this.
I've got some right there.
I really like
It's
it.
different. Have some more
What's
of
this?
Oh, it's like CDAs. I know they don't like
that.
sell
That's
well,
right.
and people
I remember
don't
that.
really buy them because they don't understand
They're
what
coming
they
back.
are.
I
Are
feel
they?
like we've been saying this for 5 years, but I feel like
They're coming back. They're having their moments. You heard it here first.
Just like brute IPAs.
yeah, just like brewed
Dude,
IPAs.
every other week.
I also
I'm
love
sitting,
brewed IPAs. All right,
I'm not
for the
saying I'm not
record.
casting any shade. I'm just
Every other week, I'm sitting in my ops manager's office trying to justify some order that I put in with one of our breweries, where he's like, "Why are you ordering 10 kegs of this
CDA.
weird fucking beer?" And I'm like, "It's having a moment right now."
having a moment.
That's like
I'm
my
having a
excuse for
moment.
everything.
It's having a moment.
I know, seriously.
We're all having a moment,
Trust
okay?
me.
Yeah, I swear to God, there's like
Get
9
in the
breweries that
moment.
made a Czech dark lager in the last like 6 weeks.
Oh my God.
And
Yes.
we should order all the Czech dark lager.
It's gonna be a thing.
it still sells
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah,
So
it's
good.
great. I wasn't wrong about that one.
No,
I
you're
was
not.
wrong about
So good.
table beers.
I think there's a time for
You
table
got some
beer.
in your stock.
Yeah, we just haven't hit it yet.
We are under the
The
table.
time is not now, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
when it hits, you fucking text me
Maybe it's January.
so I can stop lying to the people that write the fucking checks to my
Like
brewery.
it's like
Maybe it's January.
Yeah,
I
right,
would
it might be
know.
the opposite of NAs.
It's like the like kind of wet, dry January,
I feel,
where
I
people
feel
are
like
like
totally
drinking
beers are
less
The damp
spring.
January.
The damp January. Sorry,
Totally.
yeah.
That was
just came up with
yeah.
the campaign.
it was damp. People were doing damp January, moist January.
It's like drinking. Not that.
Oh my gosh.
Not that.
Not that.
Damp, I guess. Is
Perspirant January.
Okay. A little sweaty.
Sweaty, that's where I was going. Sweaty.
Glowing
You're
January.
talking about just drinking.
You know what's funny is like
Glowing,
dank
there you go.
January would mean the same thing, but like in beer world it totally doesn't. It just means you're drinking only old IPAs for all of January.
That's better than NAs.
Ron's got self-care on the shelf right now.
Yes.
Dude, I just go ahead, Bethany.
Oh, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I went down into Three Mags this week and had some of their self-care stuff.
Yeah, still.
I
still
can't
haven't had it
believe,
yet.
So
dude,
good.
I cannot believe how good it's getting.
I need to
I like
try it. I really do.
They're being. I know. I'm gonna bug Aaron about maybe coming on in
Please
January
do,
because like,
yeah.
and he won't talk a lot about it, but like, he gave me a fucking fresh hop NA beer that I would have had 8 cans of sitting
hop
there.
NA?
I swear to God, it was so good.
awesome.
He was like, "This beer's 2 months old. It's probably like," and I smelled it and I was like, "This smells like a 2-day-old fresh hop." It was super hoppy.
That's awesome.
No oxidation, and it was like a fresh hop.
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic hazy IPA, and I was like, I would drink this all fucking day. It's unbelievable.
I made the joke, but NAs are selling like
Dude.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
nuts. There are
Yeah.
some days where we sell more NA because I work day shift.
Yeah.
But there's more times where we sell more NA of whatever
Because
you've got in the case.
they're becoming so delicious.
They are. And
But fucking
when
because
we
of
sell-
Aaron.
Right,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean,
But still,
literally,
the shoots is killing
we
it.
sell
Yeah.
more NA than we do of the regular tap list, and we have.
You know what's
in
so-
the afternoon, and it's true.
They brought this up actually when I was talking to him about it because we were just like talking about, NA demographics and how they're different and stuff. And they were like, like coffee shops are starting to sell NA beer. And it's weird because you think about it as beer. It is a beer category, but you can sell it anywhere. Like it's a fucking coconut water, really. There's no restrictions on it. It's still an NA product, like any juice or any canned non-alcoholic thing. And he's like, you can put it in a coffee shop and the work from home crowd that comes and gets coffee at like 11 in the morning and then stays to work until 1 is drinking 2 cans of NA beer. And that's kind of that thing, right?
Right.
Like people are coming to Peaks and having their lunch and maybe they're not trying to turn up like
Yeah.
fucking we are
Or they're
at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
well, or they're actually working, and I
Right.
mean, there are some jobs where you can drink when you work, but there are some jobs where you can't, and
Right.
so this is their answer: is that they're like,
Yeah.
I'm having lunch. And I'm working, and I can do this NA, and they love it. It's
Yeah.
just, it's
I
really
just
great.
joined a gym and they had athletic.
Oh, really? Stop it!
Do you guys? I was like, do you guys normally have this
What
beer
gym
here?
is that?
No, it's on brand. It's fine. It's fine.
I was happy to see it. You know, like it's like my world and the gym world.
I don't think it's a gym, Bethany. I really don't.
Painkiller.
Just the amount of fucking sugar and carbs in NA beer. Like,
it's a CrossFit gym. So it's real.
I love it. Oh, that's amazing.
there's no way these cans of athletic are going to prevent you from doing 4 bad pull-ups. Ah, shit.
Oh,
Sorry,
great.
that's not funny. I can't
cool.
do.
It's cool,
I can't do 4 bad pull-ups.
NA beer at the gym.
Yeah.
That I think is a first.
Mm-hmm.
That's so great.
That's incredible.
Right?
Yeah.
So they are getting out to places.
My trainer
other
is so upset about my beer consumption, so no.
I know. Are you? I feel like we're past fuck up story time.
Where are we?
No, we blew right through fuck ups.
Oh, we did.
That's
we
fine.
did fuck up stories. Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
Right.
If I must.
All right.
All right, Great Grainers. Let me adjust. Email us at cheers@greatgrainpodcast.com with your comments, opinions, and ways to help build our listenership, such as if you tell 2 friends about Great Grain Podcast, you'll receive 2 extra sweaty hugs from a weeping, thick-necked trucker at the next Promise Keepers rally. We read and drink everything we receive, and we try to respond as fast as we can. If not online, if on air.
On air.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Nope. You can subscribe to Greg and Grain on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. And please leave us a review. Also, check us out on channel 253 and GreatTinGrain.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for episode notes, beer news, and squeaky clean rehashings of Christmas standards by the likes of Mathis, Streisand, and Jerry Vale. Even the damn grandmas got run over by a reindeer into our lives. Though loudspeakers perhaps give Scrooges the Manuel Noriega treatment, surely these songs will make them see their error of their crotchety ways. At the very least, it will drive them to the same point of insanity where it's always 1955 and sugar plums not only dance but hold 9-to-5 jobs, kick the can, and vacuum wearing pearls. If this podcast is not what you expected, please alter your expectations.
Please.
2 snowmen were standing in a field. The snowman to the right said, "Do you smell carrots?" No such thing as a bad time to visit. Think about it. No such thing as a bad time to visit Tacoma. No such thing as too much barley wine. It actually is a thing. Tune in next Friday for more Street Chatter. Cheers.
Cheers.
So glad it's done.
Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at Grit and Grain Podcast wherever you get your social media and catch new episodes every Friday. Cheers.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you. Grit and Grain is part of the Channel 253 podcast network. Check out our other shows: Nerd Farmer, Interchangeable White Ladies, Move to Tacoma, Crossing Division, Citizen Tacoma, What Say You, We Are Tacoma, Flounders B Team, and Taco Man.
This is Channel 253.
Get up.